So, something that I've noticed in a lot of hunting video games is that the character often will carry multiple weapons at a time. And I'm talking about like big weapons, so like rifles and shotguns or a bow. They'll carry multiple at the same time. And I've always sort of thought that's not super practical, but so I decided to try out that this season. How practical is it to carry multiple large weapons on you at a time? So I'm hunting with my bow right now since it's bow season, and I'm also carrying around this little Kui Model 93 single shot 22 for grouse, whatever. And that's what I'm going to try and see here is how practical it is. So I've got my mount on the sling, and I'm going to I'm going to carry it around and use it to take any grouse or whatever small game bird that I see, and I'll see what it's like. So it's the 1st of November, and I didn't actually get anything with 22 there during bow, although I did have that one opportunity. But I'm still going to carry 2. I'm still going to carry it, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we'll get some grouse. So I thought I'd wrap up my thoughts here on carrying 2 weapons at one time when you're out hunting, like 2 bigger ones. So just carrying kind of the main things I needed to try, kind of figure out to know if it's viable. What was like the weight? Is it too heavy to carry an extra big weapon around? Is it too awkward or whatever? How easy is it to use a switch if you need to pull another one out? And that. So I guess it wasn't too bad to carry. Like the weight was there. It wasn't bad, but after a longer day of walking, you definitely could feel the weight. I didn't, for that reason, and that I didn't carry it on the last week or 2 there of November, just because I didn't, even though there was still the possibility of seeing a grouse, the reduction in weight I felt at that point was because I really want to try and find the moose and such, that I didn't carry it. But when I was carrying it, as you've seen there, I had a couple chances there earlier on, and none of, they got the one shot off and such. So I guess in ease of use is not too, to switch between weapons is not too bad. It's a little bit kind of awkward. Now I was carrying it in upside down position, so with the barrel pointed toward the ground. I felt that was the most comfortable to carry in. It wasn't, because I've had trouble where I put a rifle on my back and then just through walking and whatever, it'll slowly kind of sag down, and then it's no longer with the barrel facing upright. It's kind of hanging upside down off your shoulder. But by carrying it the other way, it didn't do that, at least not nearly as fast at all. So yeah, there's a little ease of use. It was okay to do. Like, as you've seen, I was able to get a shot off on that one grouse, and I did pull out a couple other times there, and one other time I didn't actually get on video because my cameras were dead. But overall, like, for ease of use, it's doable. Like, and from other years before, like, you know, if I had a 22 like that on my back, I would have been able to draw it out and get a shot off without it running away or flying off. So it's good that way. Yeah, and I guess I kind of think touched on weight, and I guess so the only thing I haven't touched on here is so far as like, is it comfortable? Does it get in the way? And sometimes, but only if you're going through a lot of more thick brush. But for the most part, it wasn't too bad. If you're carrying around in snow like I was, you will want to put some sort of cap or a little bit of tape on the end of the barrel to make sure you don't get snow in there. But that's not, that doesn't affect it at all. I did take a shot with it at some point there. I don't know if it was just at a target at home or actually out in the field where I did that, and it, you know, was fine. I think I read somewhere about you can do that. But yeah, in terms of how ease of carry for like how awkward is it, it's not really that awkward. Now, with all this being said, if I had another option to carry something else for grouse or small game like that, would I choose like a longer 22 than, you know, something else? No. If I could carry a handgun, I would do that instead, or even one of those, like, I've seen like the cartridges that you can find. I think you can find for some calibers that they either fire like a small like 22 round in them, and you can chamber them in your rifle, or else I think I've seen some people make like plinking loads. They'll take the full length case, they'll put like a small, like kind of like musket ball type lead ball in it, and put a I don't know how fast of powder, but you know, just enough just to drive it. Probably I think about like 22 velocities, and you know, use that for like short range plinking or whatever, which would then work okay for grouse and small game. If I had either of those options, I probably would do that instead. Now up here in Canada, I can't carry a handgun, but since it's the only thing I had, it's not too bad. Might have to look into making my own like small game cartridge or whatever, because I'd just be much less weight. You know, you don't have any real issues with the weight at all. Awkward. The only thing would be an issue with that. The only thing about having to change ammo in your big game hunting rifles, that then you have to, you know, if you've chambered around, you got to unchamber it, or you know, if your ammunition in the magazines get in the way. But other than that, there's no real issue I could see with that option if you had it. But for the most part, for carrying a second big weapon on your back, it's not, you know, just like it's not as awkward as, you know, what you might think it actually is in real life. If you could carry, wouldn't be my first pick, like I said, but it does okay. You know, you can make it work. So those are kind of my thoughts there, my final thoughts on the matter. And I might get into a more in-depth video later in the summer, but for now I think that's I think that's it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and God bless.